content number 2 in the studio.
Yeah, you walked in today with a pretty big topic and a lot of energy behind it.
As a technologist, I'm paying really close attention to what's going on in AI. And I think AI is having a big impact on direct film transfers. I mean, the we'll call it the decorator business in general, although I don't really like, that's not my favorite word.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I think it makes sense to just have a regular conversation about AI as it relates to direct film transfers that are being applied. It's a mouthful, but I'm just kind of like a series of AI in DTF. And I think it's something that needs to be an ongoing discussion, because I guarantee everything that we say and think today is going to change significantly week on week on week. And what we think today, a year from now, I think we're going to look back on it and say, wow, I can't believe how wrong we were. Now, we're not isolated in that. I think not even in this industry. It's the way things go. But it shouldn't scare us away from talking about it. It just means we need to engage with it on a regular basis. Go ahead. What are your thoughts?
I agree. I mean, I use AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever it is, every day to some degree. I've dabbled with it in terms of helping me with AI artwork. And I think that's where this conversation currently is stemming from, is us using AI to create, modify, adjust artwork, but also how we're seeing our customers try and use it and the pain points, the way it's easing things. And just, so I think that's where we're coming at the current conversation of, is terms of artwork, not necessarily AI in the streamlining of business stuff, more of the, how are people using it to help themselves trying to create professional level stuff, and how they're struggling.
Hey, look, I'm going to build on what you're saying here, but I kind of want to take this in a direction that people may not be expecting. AI is having an impact on technology companies 10x every year in increased like productivity and growth and revenue. 10x last year, 10x on that 10x this year. Businesses like ours are struggling to figure out, how do we do in more of a physical, traditional business space what enterprise level tech companies are doing. And folks are having a hard time figuring it out. But what is inarguable is that AI will have the biggest impact on our society and our business and our day-to-day lives. It'll have a bigger impact by far than anything we've experienced, right? Flat screen TVs to the internet. It's like, you just look at what's happened with AI in the last handful of years, and how much more powerful and how much better it has gotten. How people choose to use that and how that impacts our business in this DTF space, I think is going to be really impactful. You can look at how people are creating images, or you can look at how service providers like commercial DTF printers are doing things like use AI to remove a background, use AI to brighten up an image. Well, does that really work, and what's the impact of that? And if it doesn't work today, will it work in the future? These are a lot of the things that I think about on a daily basis. And I'll end with one specific example. AI background removal for images. That's kind of like a popular plugin for a lot of people that have a website that's made with Shopify and an image upload plugin that just says, hey, send me your image and remove the background with AI and we'll print it and send it to you. Well, the reality is AI background removal tends to create more problems than solve them. And there's a reason for that, and we don't have to go into it right now, but understanding how AI works as a large language model, I could walk somebody through that and say, here's why it creates problems and more customer care problems and more image problems and more problems on your shirt than it actually solves, and why you might be better off using a traditional tool. I may be right about that today, but 6 months or a year from now, AI background removal may actually be a very useful tool. Sorry for going on for so long, but that's why I think what this requires is just an ongoing conversation about AI and how it impacts this industry and why. And I think shop owners need to be aware of it, and so do we.
Yeah, no, everybody in every industry needs to understand how to leverage AI in their day-to-day stuff. Whether you're, the person pressing or the person working with customers and getting orders, or you're in our position where we are looking at artwork and maybe using it as, QC checking, or people are reaching out to us to check on orders and we're using AI to answer simple questions about things, everybody across every spectrum. Now, like you mentioned, at the current state of it, it's not perfect. It might be a helpful, almost like power up boost to get people further down the path, but it might ultimately become a roadblock because it isn't doing exactly what we need because of the way it does just predict things. Like, and again, we don't think we have to go down how, LLMs work and why it's not perfect, but at the current situation, in your opinion, what are the most useful implementations of AI in DTF right now?
Um,
Where does it help? How can it be used?
yeah. You have to answer that question from right now. I have to answer that question from 2 points of view. One point of view is just the end user, the person who's creating the artwork to put on a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most useful, most impactful thing there is people being able to rapidly create a draft of their artwork. And I'm very specific to say a draft of their artwork, because unless you're just going for, a real craft thing, a real fast thing, like you're going to do like a quick drop of something for maybe like a funny political shirt, like AI can get you a draft like really, really quickly. But if you're going for something that's going to be used where you're using halftones and so forth, and you want to have not only a good look but also a good feel, then yeah, it really is a draft, because you need to then go and do further preparation work with some kind of more professional tools beyond that. So I think the biggest impact we're seeing is a lot of images come through that we know are very clearly created with AI, and it is useful, but there's a lot of pitfalls. From a say a producer standpoint, where we're a commercial printer, it's a fantastic resource for doing market research, or for just doing some deep analysis on, hey, how can we improve our sort of source analysis on the images that we see come in, like not leveraging AI to do that source analysis, but having this sort of like, this is just one example from an engineering standpoint, having an Einstein level IQ to work with as a partner. Like for me, as an full stack engineer for the last 20 years, I can use AI to turn myself into a really, really fast developer, kind of like a superhero developer. AI doesn't write code for us, but AI is in a lot of ways my coding partner around some very complicated things that normally would take a year to develop. I can develop and get out the door in 2 weeks. So from the consumer side, I should say consumer, from the, let's just call like say the crafter side, the producer side, the shop side, creating drafts of images. From a service provider side, accelerating the pace at which we can innovate with technology to do a better job for our customers. Those are the two things. Short question, long answer, but it's a very deep topic.
Yeah, and the deeper we will go with it, for sure. What would you want the people using, or let's just think of it this, let's narrow the population. The individuals outsourcing direct-to-film prints right now, people, aka people using us, what would be your one biggest takeaway for them when it comes to using AI in their ordering workflow? What could they implement today that would help them?
In your day-to-day life, in your day-to-day workflow, I think AI is, I have to give you two things. One, AI is, use it when it comes to creating image drafts. It can really speed things up for you. The second thing I would say is use it, educate yourself with it. Use it for education, right? Ask it questions that you're afraid to ask somebody else, like, tell me about color gamut. Tell me about, also, let me just say this. I'm not going to mention specific names, but I'm going to say this. Use it to just like detect BS. There's a lot of marketing BS in this. One company recently started saying that they can print 16.9 million colors. That is patently untrue. And the reason is, if you understand color science, if you understand that the RGB color space produces 17 million colors as an additive light-based process versus a reductive print-based process, there's no printer on the planet that's going to produce 16.8 million colors, right? And so that's like one specific example. When people are making claims about things that are just like a marketing pickup line to drive business, it's not true. You can't print 18 million, 16 point whatever million colors.
Well, to that point, and our point about using AI, while you were talking, I quickly typed into AI. Here's my question. How many colors are theoretically possible to print with DTF? AI's answer, the paid version of AI, 16.8 million.
Now ask it from a color science perspective. How many colors can a printer physically produce, even with expander colors? Not from a marketing message, but from an actual print science.
Insert Jeopardy theme song.
Wait, that's Don't Worry, Be Happy.
On the order of millions of visually distinct colors, but still far fewer than 16.7 million colors. Let's see if it says anything else. It just starts to explain the why behind it. Again, there's a lot of details here, but to your point,
no, there could be some hallucination going on there. And
there is, again, this is where AI is good, but not always going to get you where you need to go.
Well, learning how to use AI. Here, let's do this. I've actually got ChatGPT. Well, we're side by side now. Let me do this, and then we can probably wrap
Here's
up.
what it says, why the number isn't 16.7 million. So RGB is essentially light mixing. Again, red, green, blue diodes. Ink is subtractive physics. So the limitations there is the ink absorbs wavelengths imperfectly, pigments overlap in absorption curves, the paper film reflects imperfectly, dot patterns introduce noise, and white ink constrains saturation sealing. So even with the extra inks, we'll still be bounded by physics, material science, and really just the ability for our human perception with the eye.
Right. Did it give you a number?
No.
Like, I think the number is going to be close to 2.5 million, just based on the color science that we're aware of, right? And that's not distinguishable colors. There's a difference between distinguishable colors and actual colors, because your eye can't distinguish but a certain, variation on colors. I think that it's, to be fair, you could reproduce 2.5 million colors, but distinguishable colors is going to be maybe 1 million, maybe 500,000, even with a expanded color set. My point is that this is exactly why I think AI is, I'm going to switch back to me, you can do this in post. This is exactly why I think, one, we need to continue to use AI. We need to know how to use it. We need to continue to talk about it. We need to work with it today while it hallucinates things and gives marketing messages versus science-based messages. And whatever, somebody can say 16.8 million colors. It's a marketing thing. I'm sure the prints are fantastic, but at the end of the day, it's like, you can use AI in your business to say what's marketing, what's BS, and what's reality. And this is a trivial example that probably doesn't have a real impact on your business, but a lot of other things do have an impact on your business. And so we just have to continue to engage with it over time.
Quick follow-up. Roughly 2 million distinguishable printable colors.
See?
I hear you. I'm just working through that whole thought process as if I was somebody on listening to this going, how can I proof check it? Do you distinguish the reliable from the unreliable? So yes, there is 16.8 million potential colors. That's potential, not reality. Reality is roughly 2 million different printable colors, but it's even less for that due to our distinguishable eye, And so it all just boils down to, is this a marketing scheme gimmick? Get rich, do this fast versus the fundamental basics. What you need to know that.
Yeah. In this case, and listen, I could argue it from that company's side, because the question they're saying is, we can print 16.8 million colors. Sure, great, you can. That's because the visible light spectrum on a computer screen is like 16.8 million or somewhere around there.
Well, and so can everybody with their printer.
Well, you can quote unquote print what's being displayed on the screen, but what they're not saying is we're actually interpolating a lot of those colors into the closest printable match. And so it's very misleading. The point is it's a marketing message to get, mass market crafters to sort of like buy from them. But if you're a professional and you're doing this for a living and you're trying to grow your business, things to be aware of. So.
All right. I like where we brought that to. What do you want to make sure we talk about next? Like, what are the big things now that we've unlocked that we need to go deeper on? What should our listeners look forward to? Besides my face.
I think there's so much to talk about with AI in generally, like in this business. We're going to edit out a little bit of this sort of hemming and hawing, but I think in general, what I think people are going to get out of this is just a weekly, or as close to weekly as possible as we can get on, hey, what's the latest with AI and its impact on DTF? And it's everything from, images to research to, learning how to do things better with even your heat press in the business. Right. And I think it can make I think this can make a real positive impact on people's business. And even some things I know that are coming with AI, like commerce via AI. Right. I mean, so much to pay attention to. And since we're working with it every single day, I'm working with it every single day, I think it'd be great for us to talk about it and share what we're learning with, our customers.
Roger. I like it. Let's leave it there.
All right. I'm going to run get my teeth work done.
Yeah, but your smile's already pretty, so.
Thanks, man. All right. Then let's end it here.